Moi everyone, and welcome to Finish Your Plate. So you've had your Christmas dinner. It's full of fat, it's full of salt, it's full of meat, all kinds of heavy stuff. So what do you have for dessert? Well, of course you're going to have rice pudding. So I'm going to show you a really simple way to make rice pudding in the oven plus a sauce to go with it, which is going to be a traditional Finnish Christmas dessert. All right, so I have here just a glass, oven-safe glass bowl. I'm just going to take some butter, spread the butter around the rim, so this way it doesn't really stick as much. Okay, so now that the bowl has been buttered, I'm just going to take, this is about 2/3 of a cup of arborio rice, and then about 4 cups of milk. Like so. Just going to mix in about a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of sugar. I'm just going to mix it all. Okay, so now that I've mixed the milk and rice, I'm just going to add 1 single almond in here. So supposedly, whoever gets the almond when they eat it, they're going to get good luck for the next year. Unless, of course, you're allergic to almonds. So now we have a choice. So we could leave it uncovered or we could cover it. So what the difference is that if we leave it uncovered, it's going to create this dark crust on top. So it's up to you which one you prefer. I prefer mine actually without the crust, so I'm going to leave the top on. I'm going to put it in the oven for 350 degrees, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm going to mix it every once in a while it's in the oven. And the beauty of the oven method is that this is not going to burn while it's in the oven, unlike the stovetop method. You got to keep mixing it constantly. This one is good because you can just put it in the oven and just go do other stuff while it cooks in the oven. All right, so I'm going to put this in the oven. 350 degrees, hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, so while the rice pudding, the rice porridge is in the oven, I'm just going to make a quick plum sauce to go with it. So what I have here is just some prunes I've soaked overnight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start heating them up. And while they're heating up, I'm just going to make a slurry. I have here about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I may not use it all. We'll see. Okay, so the slurry is made. So while this is heating up, I'm just going to add to it about half a cup of brown sugar. Then just a few dashes of Chinese 5-spice. I like the 5-spice because it actually combines all the Christmassy spices. This one has cinnamon, anise seed, ginger, and cloves. So it's perfect for this. There we go. So I'm just going to mix this. Wait until it heats up. Then I'm just going to thicken it with my cornstarch slurry, and then it'll be ready. Okay, so now our prunes have started to simmer, so I'm just going to mix my slurry one last time, and I'm going to pour it in here. The reason why we don't mix the slurry first while it's cold in the mixture is that now we can see how much we actually need. We may not need the entire amount, so we're just going to pour some in and see how thick it gets. Of course, depending whether you like it thicker or thinner. Keep in mind this is going to thicken up as it cools down too. There we go. I'm just going to let it come to a simmer once more. Turn off the heat, and it's ready. So one last thing that I'm going to add while it's off the heat, I'm going to add a little bit of black rum. This one that I have here is 151 proof, so you have to be really careful with it. You could use spiced rum. Spiced rum would go really well with this one. There we go. Perfect. Now this is ready. Now all we have to do is wait for our rice pudding, and then we're going to serve. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so about hour and 40 minutes later, the rice pudding is out of the oven. We can see that it overflowed a little bit, so make sure you put something underneath to catch all the overflow, should that happen. Or maybe just don't fill up the vessel quite as high. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take some of the rice pudding, like so, and then we're just going to spoon some of this plum sauce over it. There we go. Finnish Christmas rice pudding. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Finish Your Plate.